Hello, Internet. The Morgan You Know podcast network presents Balls Brew.
Yes, hello, welcome. We are coming in hot. Oh my goodness, Pete, where are you at? Andy Cook from back in high school, where are you at? All you Boilermakers out there, we are coming in hot. My name is Rod Morgan. We are literally recording this episode of Balls and Brew right now, immediately following the Indiana Hoosiers upsetting the number 4 Purdue Boilermakers at Assembly Hall. Chris King is here with us. He used to have season tickets to Assembly Hall. Josh Williams is here with us. He's our football handicapper. Mr. Williams, we're going to take a college basketball sojourn here before we get to the NFL. Is that all right with you?
Oh, baby, you know I love some college basketball, and you know I love the Hoosiers.
All right, Chris, let me start with you. I want to start with you here, Chris. I'm going to make you sort of, I guess, maybe sad, nostalgic, whatever here. How mad were you that you no longer can be in person in your old seats for a game like that at Assembly Hall?
It's humbling, and it makes you realize how lucky you were. Because, like, I don't know if people out there know, but we had some great seats right there where the team would come out at, and you miss games like this where the crowd was just raucous all game long, where we're playing a rival like Purdue and like we're overachieving really when everything should be going the other direction. Like, these are the games as an IU fan that you live for and you live to be there.
Mr. Williams, let me go to you because you specifically told me earlier today my IU fandom has waned, and we're going to get into how that happened at some point here probably because I'm going to relate it to another sports franchise that my fandom has waned and why I have chosen to wane on both of them. But you alerted me earlier today that IU was playing Purdue and that you were worried about what your state of mind was going to be recording this podcast. So I'm glad to hear that IU pulled that one out. What about you?
Oh, man. Just so happy right now. It was long overdue. IU had lost 9 in a row to Purdue. Hadn't beat them since 2016, since the Yogi years. But, man, such a big win. And thank God we got it because I don't see us winning at Purdue on the last game of the year. So everything from here on out is gravy for me, man. It's great.
All right, I'm gonna drill down on your knowledge here about something in just a second, but yeah, big win for new head coach Mike Woodson, right? Hoosier alumni, played for Bobby in the NBA. He brings back Dane Fife, gets him away from Michigan State. He's an IU grad. He's on the team. I'm fired up about this team coming in this year, so I tune in about, I'd say, a week and a half ago, see them beat Ohio State. And I see that Ohio State's ranked and Indiana's not, but they look pretty good at Assembly Hall. And I'm like, all right, cool. How about that? Good for Mike Woodson. I'm back. The reason I was gone is because the minute that Indiana hired the previous coach, Archie Miller, I was out on him. I didn't like his personality. I didn't like the fact that he was associated with Sean Miller, a guy who is literally being investigated for complete college basketball cheating at the moment. I didn't like his personality. I didn't like his style of play. And clearly it did not work. We've had many arguments about him on this podcast. You can go back and listen to all those. I don't want to belabor the point. Only to say that I chose at my now advanced age where I have a son, a job, so many other things going on, that I was not going to stick around for an IU that disappointed me. I just wasn't. Call me a bad fan if you want, but that wasn't something I was going to subject my time to. And I made a similar choice earlier this year with the Chicago Cubs, cut out baseball, completely disappointed in Tom Ricketts and his decision to fire sale the Chicago Cubs and then folding it away and letting all these great players walk away when he can absolutely pay all of them. I don't care how bad it hurts his pocketbook. I just don't care. The rules mean he can sign all of them back if he wants to. I walked away from that, walked away from the Hoosiers. Long soliloquy to say I was happy to be back on board with IU. Chris, your thoughts on that? Because I know you were disappointed in me for straying away from the Hoosiers there for a few years.
And let's be honest, Rod. Before Archie was hired, you were already pissed that they fired Tom Crean. You were pissed at any kind of person that was going to come in there because you were upset that they fired Tom Crean. But
that is correct. I am pro Tom Crean. Tom Crean, I hope you're listening someday. This is a pro Tom Crean podcast. Go,
we love
Georgia.
You, Tom. But I agree with you that Archie ended up being the wrong coach. I thought he'd be able to do it. I didn't like the stuff with his brother, but after not being able to beat Purdue at all, as an IU fan, I had enough. You have to beat Purdue. And Mike Woodson's first shot protects the home court, knows that as IU, we do not lose at home. Don't fade IU at home. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, I want to also make this quick point. So you have your obligatory commercials for said universities during broadcasts of college basketball games, right? This one happened to air on FS1. And I see a Purdue commercial come up where Purdue has the audacity to call themselves Indiana's team, and I had to cry foul. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm definitely anti-Boilermaker, so you can say this is slanted if you want to, but I find it hard to believe that across this great state of Indiana, you will find more Purdue fans than you will find, let's start here, Notre Dame fans, and then second IU, or maybe first IU, second Notre Dame. But I just find it very hard to believe that Purdue has the audacity to run a commercial saying that Indiana is Purdue's state. No,
Yeah.
sorry.
So I would be willing to bet that you will find more Notre Dame football fans than you would all Purdue sports fans. Just like I think you would find more IU basketball fans than you would all Purdue sports fans throughout the state.
Yeah, so there you go. That's, again, my slanted Purdue bias. Mr. Williams, I'm going to have you bring us back to earth here, okay, with this current Purdue team, which is ranked 4 in the country, which has a freshman player by the name of Jaden Ivey, who is the son of Notre Dame's women's basketball coach, Niall Ivey. All right, this kid is a Costanza-level chucker. My goodness, this dude was not looking at anything but the basket. I swear at certain points, Matt Painter in the timeout just said, you guys better not give the ball to Ivy because it ain't going to anybody else after he gets it. And they would run plays that didn't go to him, and other guys would pass it, and things were happening. Man, Mr. Williams, Jaden Ivey, this current Purdue team being ranked number 4. Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it wasn't Ivy's best game. I think he got caught up emotionally in the crowd, and Galloway getting up in his grill a little bit early in that game. And I think, Painter sat him on the bench for the last 5 minutes of the first half. He came back out and started the second half, played really well. But that last play, you knew what was going to happen. I was talking to my dad on the phone. I was like, well, they're gonna get the ball to Ivy, and he's going to drive, and he's going to take a terrible shot, and he's going to act like he got fouled. And that's exactly what happened. And I mean, he's young. He's gonna be good. He's an NBA player, but he's just not there yet. And this Purdue team is good. They're very good. But one thing that is a bugaboo for them is turnovers. And in March Madness, man, if you turn the ball over, that's a recipe to go out earlier than expected. We saw North Texas upset them in the first round last year. North Texas was a super senior laden team, and they just frustrated Purdue with their perimeter defense, and that's one thing that Purdue has to work on. Other than that, Purdue is really loaded at everything. They have really good shooters, really good rebounders, and the 2 7-footers down low. So they're a tough team, man. I still expect them to win the Big Ten, as much as I hate to say that because I'm an IU fan. But yeah, we were catching them at the perfect time too, man. They were coming off a 2 overtime win at Illinois. We get them 3 days later. The students are back in town. It's a huge game for IU. So if there was any spot that we were going to beat them, it was tonight, and thank God we did.
All right, well, answer me this then. I saw IU's overall record, looks fairly good compared to the overall record of everybody else in the Big Ten. Why are so many other teams in the Big Ten ranked and IU is not? We now have a win over Purdue and a win over Ohio State. Do they just not have decent enough wins over other people? What's the story there?
Yeah, the non-conference was a little weak, and then we beat St. John's, but then out of conference we lost to Syracuse and have a bad loss to Penn State and Iowa on the road. We just can't win on the road. I mean, you look it up, and we've got 1 win on the road, and that's against winless Nebraska. So we've got a chance here to pile up some wins. The next couple games are at home, and then the next one's at Maryland. Maryland's down this year. You have to win that game. If you're a tournament team, you have to go win at Maryland. So we'll see. Maybe they get in the top 25. I don't even really care if they get in the top 25. I could care less. They just have to prove to me that they're mentally tough and that they can win on the road. You need to start watching them more, though, because their best half of the year up until this game was the second half against Ohio State. You said you watched that. Their best game this year was against Purdue. So you, my friend, Mr. Morgan, need to watch some more IU basketball. You are the good luck charm.
Well, listen, I'll see what I can do. There's 5 hours of wrestling a week on top of all of my other various duties. We'll see if the IU Hoosiers can work into there. Mr. King, Mr. Williams said the key word there, tournament. do you think Mike Woodson has a chance to do in his first year what one Archie Miller could never do as coach of the Indiana Hoosiers?
If they keep playing like they did tonight and not turning the ball over, yes. Because this was a different night for IU. One, TJD was not really involved in the game much at all. And you got great guard play, great penetration from our guards. That type of play will get you into the tournament. It will win you enough games in the Big Ten. You got to win the road games that you're supposed to win and fight and protect home court. I think they get in.
Love it. I was also happy to see that, you know what, man, IU basketball is still IU basketball, right? There's still a couple of try-hard white boys out there. There's still some white guys chucking from behind the three-point line. IU basketball is still going to forever be IU basketball. Assembly Hall is going to be the same. The cheerleaders are going to come out looking exactly the same. The IU fight song, it's just all exactly the same. Shout out to IU. It was an awful lot of fun dipping my toes back into college basketball this evening. And Mr. Williams, I'll do my best to try to continue to be IU's good luck charm. That's the most I can promise you. As much as I love and appreciate you, that's the most I can promise.
You better. They need it this year.
All right. Well, what the people need is some football talk. So let's move away from college basketball and get into some football talk. But I will mention quickly before we get there that that's a little primer for next week when Mr. King and I and a guest to be determined. We have different basketball Illuminati that may join us on that episode, but we're going to be doing a mid-season check-in with the NBA next week on Balls and Brew. So that'll be coming next week. But here comes football this week. I'm going to start with a apology. I started last week with another apology, and I'm going to apologize again this week. I cannot believe I came on this podcast last week and said that Mike McCarthy was capable of making great decisions in a playoff game. I should be ashamed of myself for backing the Dallas Cowboys in a game that matters. I know better. There's audio evidence of me speaking to that many times beforehand, and for some reason, I completely drank Kool-Aid and told you to believe in the Dallas Cowboys, and that I apologize for. Chris, that's your team. You go.
There's a few things I have issues with. One, I actually believe that's not the play that Mike McCarthy wanted. I don't think he wanted Dak Prescott to run and then slide and then spike the ball. I think he wanted another 4 to 5 second out route, get caught, get out of bounds, and then have 2 shots at the end zone. That's what I think Mike McCarthy wanted. That's what everyone else wanted, and that's what should have happened. It was a crazy looking weird thing at the end with the ref grabbing the ball and moving it back for some apparent reason, but I don't blame him. The Cowboys had to do something different in the third quarter that they weren't doing, and they couldn't.
Yeah, but
move the ball.
whose choices are those in the third quarter? That's what I mean. I think you're just leaving out a lot of bad decisions before the end of the game. Like, I'm not trying to lay all of the end of the game on him, but you're leaving out a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah, listen, I understand. I also have been on this podcast saying I don't know how many of those decisions Mike McCarthy actually makes. I think he will make some when it comes to like game management and time management, and I actually thought they did pretty well in that last drive with their time management with having no timeouts. They moved the ball pretty far down the field. I don't think that last play was his call. I think that was Dak Prescott making a snap judgment, and it backfired. So I don't see that you can give up necessarily on Mike McCarthy yet.
Wow, listen to you. I'm so surprised to hear this. Let's collect your thoughts. Let's go to Mr. Williams, who is our coach whisperer on this podcast. Mr. Williams, you study all of the different coaching trends. You have pretty darn good opinions on who's a good coach, who's not doing a good job. I mean, talk to us. What about Mike McCarthy versus old Kyle Shanahan, your guy in that game?
Well, I'm going to say something that's going to surprise both of you. I thought it was terrible coaching by both coaches in that game late.
Wow.
Yes, and the both quarterbacks have egg on their face as well. Chris is right. Dak has to know that you can't run 15 yards. You just get 8 to 10 yards, slide, go down and spike it. And Dak has to know that the official has to touch the ball. You can't just give it to the center. And the reason why the official comes in and respots it 2 yards back is 'cause that's where Dak started the slide. You can't just hand it to the center and act like it's at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, let's just call our own spot now in the NFL.
I mean, that's terrible. And McCarthy, yes, I agree with Chris also that McCarthy doesn't really do much, but his game management is terrible. And as a head coach, you have to – your biggest thing is reminding. Let's remind Dak, hey, we don't have any timeouts here. We have 14 seconds. If you're going to run, get 10 yards, get down. What's the difference between a 28-yard Hail Mary and a 22-yard Hail Mary? There's no difference. I mean, it's terrible, terrible coaching by McCarthy there. Terrible game awareness by Dak. And I'll tell you what, before that, terrible galaxy brain by Shanahan moving the left tackle in motion on a quarterback sneak. You're way overthinking it. Way overthinking it. And Jimmy G has to just look over to the right, see that Trent Williams is still in motion. Don't hike the ball yet, dude. What are we doing here? It's 4th and inches. And the most successful play in NFL history, and this isn't like a trick question. Some would say, obviously it's a Tom Brady quarterback sneak. That's actually not accurate. Tom Brady's like 98% quarterback sneak. You know what the most accurate play, most successful play in NFL history is? It's a Jimmy G quarterback sneak. He is 100% 25 for 25 quarterback sneak. Let's not overthink this here. What are we doing putting the left tackle in motion? Dallas shouldn't even had a chance to get the ball back there. So just end of game management there by both coaches.
Wow, I'm just floored right now. Mr. King comes on here. I thought he was going to fire off against his Cowboys, which I guess he sort of did in a way, because I think sort of, Chris, aren't you almost basically saying that your team is just completely shadow run by your owner at all times? That basically all decisions basically come through Jerry Jones and it doesn't matter what almost anybody else says? Or are you saying that Jerry Jones is empowering Kellen Moore to make all of these decisions?
So I think he entrusts Kellen Moore just like he used to entrust Jason Garrett. And so whatever Kellen Moore says, Jerry Jones is probably going to believe because he trusts him that much. That's what I think that is about. I also think that our biggest issue in this game and the last few games of the season have our defense, which was the strongest part of our team in the first 2/3 of the season.
It's what you talked up every time you got a chance on this podcast.
And they were doing great, but the last 3-4 weeks, including the playoffs, there was holes everywhere. People were completing passes and getting yards after the catch. Couldn't stop the run against anybody. Didn't matter if it was a backup O-line and a third string running back. So our defense has got to step up, and if our offense isn't clicking, you got to stop them from scoring, and we couldn't do that.
Yeah, well, you know who else couldn't stop scoring? Speaking of transition, a coach also got his clock clean in the playoffs, something that I did not predict for you. I guess I should apologize for this one as well. I thought the Patriots would probably get it done just based on Bill Belichick's guile, and they certainly got drubbed, didn't they, Mr. Williams? You might have to be thinking differently about this Bills team now, no?
Yeah. Man, as time went on and the closer we got to that game, I just had a sneaking feeling that Buffalo had a chance to really put it on them. That first game, now looking back on it, that first game was in the crazy, crazy wind, and New England had a great game plan and totally ran it down Buffalo's throat. Buffalo adjusted the second game, and you saw who had the more talent. That third game was kind of like Buffalo came in nodding their heads yeah, we know we have you here. And New England just had nothing for Buffalo. 7 touchdowns on the first 7 possessions. It was arguably the best postseason performance in NFL history. Always be aware of the team that looks fantastic the week prior, but I'm saying ixnay on that, man. Buffalo is for real, and Kansas City's got some real problems coming up this week.
Wow. All right. You and I are definitely going to be having to butt heads a little bit when we go there. Mr. King, pick one more game for us to touch on before we just move on to the teams that are left.
So I think there is one thing I would counteract to that is that every team that won last week really had control of their game for most of the game. Though there was 2 exceptions, that would be the Cowboys and Niners and then the Bengals and Raiders, but everybody else controlled their game from start to finish. So everybody looks good coming from the wild card round into the divisional round. So The only other one is the Bengals.
That's right. I love that you're going to the Bengals because I want to officially adopt them as my team for the rest of the
Right.
playoffs.
So we kind of missed it last week, but that was going to be my prop bet. My long shot was going to be Joe Burrow, or as I like to call him now, Joe Burr. I I had him at plus 1,600 to get the most passing yards in the playoffs.
Yeah, I listened back to it and was like, man, I cut Chris off on giving his props, so I apologize to you for that.
Yeah, so I know you guys can't listen to me now, and you should never listen to me anyway. But that would have been my long shot bet for the playoffs. Total playoffs, Joe Burr plus 1,600 most passing yards, and he is in good position to do that. I don't necessarily think the Bengals are a Super Bowl team, but I think they have a shot of winning this week, and they look good against the hot Raiders. Burrow and Chase are a next
Electric.
level
Just
weapon.
They're electric,
Yeah.
man. Whatever they want to do, they can get done.
I know. It's insane. It's crazy. I love it. Go Bengals. Who day?
All right, let's Mr. Williams, let's just start there then with the games this week. The Tennessee Cincinnati game. That's the only one I think I predicted correctly. I was on the side of the Bengals. I said the Bengals were going to beat the Raiders, so that was the one thing I sort of got right last week. What are you taking from the Cincinnati team? Do you think that they have a chance to beat Tennessee? Because it sounds like Chris and I are maybe leaning that way.
Yeah, we could. I mean, if you want to get into it, this is my best bet of the week. I feel very confident about my two AFC picks. Not, I'm having a harder time with the NFC games, but I'm going to go opposite of you. I think Tennessee minus 3.5 is the play here. For the first time all year, the Titans are going to have all 22 starters healthy. Although Henry probably won't be up to full speed quite yet in regards to total touches, he's still going to get his. And the Titans staff has recently been really good with specific game plans in the playoffs. When the Titans have had Henry, AJB, and Julio on the field at the same time, Tannehill has averaged over 9 yards per attempt. On all other dropbacks, he's averaged only 5 yards per attempt. Their season average was only 5 yards. And yards per play directly correlates with points. This is a big reason why I think Tennessee matches up well with Cincinnati here. Cincinnati, 117.7 QBR allowed versus play action. If Derrick Henry comes back, you're going to see a lot of play action. Since he was 27th in the NFL, second worst out of the playoff teams versus play action this year. The Titans are fifth in four-man rush. I think they can get pressure on Burrow without blitzing. They blitz at the fifth lowest rate in the league. And Vrabel likes to disguise his defenses pre-snap. That might be tough for a young quarterback. Even though how good Burrow is, a young quarterback on the road in his first playoff game.
Boo you! I have Bengal striped glasses on. I hate the Titans. I'm pulling for the Bengals. I want to hear none of this anti-Bengal slander. You got your pick out there that Tennessee's going to win. Fine, that's great, lovely. That's your first pick. Let's move on. Chris and I are Bengals fans. You're a hater. Let's move on.
Look, let me just counteract some of those stats that he likes to throw out all the time. I know people are getting big because Derrick Henry might be back. I think Tennessee's been good enough on the run that it doesn't matter who's behind the line, they're going to get their rushing yards. And the Bengals aren't great against the rush, but that doesn't matter. The Titans, when they get over 150, 165 yards, actually I think it is, in a game, they're only 4-3. So just because they are successful running the ball does not mean they are successful winning. And if they have to rely on Ryan Tannehill to win in the game through the air, play action or not, I don't like those odds. I think the Titans lose that type of matchup.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Mr. Williams. Now, here's one. The only other point I would like to make to counteract a little bit of what you're saying there is Arthur Smith is not the play action shot caller in Tennessee anymore, and I think we saw a little bit of that effect on this team this year. And Derrick Henry, you said it yourself, he's not going to have his normal Derrick Henry workload, okay, which means he's not going to have 45 carries. Maybe he's only going to have 26, but still, I just think they might be putting a little too much on the guy back after not doing a whole lot of play, and if they put too much on him and they fall behind this Bengals team who can get a couple of touchdowns with Jamar Chase, it just becomes a different ballgame. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Mr. Williams.
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. Cincy's DVOA ranking on offense at home, 9th. Cincy's DVOA ranking on offense on the road, 25th. And here's a big thing here. When Vrabel has 9 days or more to prep for a game, he's 8-0 straight up, but he's also 8-0 against the spread. He's covering by an average margin of 18 points per game. Average score of those games are a laughable 30-10. Since he's bottom 5 versus tight ends, we know that Tennessee loves to do the play action to the tight ends. And Cincinnati's played 7 games versus top 15 rush efficiency teams all year. Their record in those games, 1-6. The only win, they were down by 14 multiple times to the Chiefs. They came back and kind of a miracle win, got helped out by the refs there. Look, I love the Cincinnati Bengals story. I think they're going to be great in the future. This is a bad matchup for them, man. I think the Titans win by double digits on Saturday.
Future, come on. Jerry Glanville has the most famous NFL quote all the time, which is not for long. That's basically what the NFL stands like. Future, whatever. The future is now for the Bengals, man.
That's right. The future is now.
I'm going to be dancing the Icky Shuffle with my boy Boomer Esiason and Chad Johnson and Anthony Munoz and Chris Collinsworth and all of the great Bengals of all of the years. We're all going to be celebrating on Sunday. And Mr. Williams, you are an absolute machine. No matter what I try to throw at you and break you, you continue to always go back to your stats. You should be commended, my friend. As the machine that you are, what's the next game we want to talk about?
Next game in rotation would be Saturday night. San Fran, Jimmy G going to Green Bay. Jimmy G has never won a game in freezing temperatures.
Diva. Let me start here. You guys did your Aaron Rodgers conversation with the Hub Arkish thing a few weeks back, and none of you guys were harsh enough on Aaron Rodgers. Can Aaron Rodgers win the MVP? Fine. Vote for him. But you guys all should have blasted Aaron Rodgers a little bit harder for his absolute abhorrent behavior on many different circumstances this year of continuing to be a terrible teammate. I don't care what you hear through background channels from guys, because I get the feeling they're all on Stockholm Syndrome and they know it's better for them to just say they support Aaron Rodgers than not. When that dude finally leaves Green Bay, all of the stories of this dude's terribleness would come out, and it just needed to be said. You guys were just a little too soft with Rodgers when you had that discussion. Thank you for allowing me to get that in.
Yeah, this is an interesting game here. There's late reports where we don't know if Jimmy G is fully healthy. He's got the sprained shoulder. He's got the sprained thumb, where it's going to be tough to grip the ball in the cold weather. Listen, the first time these two teams played, don't forget, the Niners were up by 1 with 38 seconds left, but you can't leave any time for Rodgers. They didn't have Eli Mitchell in this game, and Debo had 0 rushing yards also, so the offense has completely changed for San Fran. And remember, 2 years ago when these two teams met in the NFC Championship game, Jimmy G had 8 passing attempts for the whole game. The Niners won by double digits. But in their first matchup back in week 3 this year, on early downs in the first half, the Niners passed the ball at a 73% clip. They have to get Kittle involved early in the game. Remember, Mark Andrews absolutely torched this Packers defense earlier this year. The Pack on second downs are giving up over 5 yards per carry and a 61% success rate. I think the Niners have to be creative with their first down plays and try to get into running situations in second down. The Niners can't play man versus anybody. They're terrible versus man, but they are very good zone coverage team. I expect Devontae Adams to have a monster game catch-wise. You can look at that prop there. I think they're going to limit him to underneath stuff. He's going to have a ton of catches. But, in the end, when the cheese gets binding, I feel like Jimmy G tightens up a little bit. So it's tough to go against Rodgers here. You think that he's going to have the ball late. I don't know. As much as I want to take San Fran, and San Fran plus 6, could be a good line here. I think I'm just gonna pass on this game. Let's see what you guys think about what's going to happen here Saturday night.
I'm gonna give you a stat, Williams. The Packers 8-0 at Lambeau. They protect their home field. I don't see them relinquishing that record yet. They are tough to win. They are even tougher to beat when you have sub-0 degree temperature. I don't think that San Fran has a whole lot of punching power left to keep up with whatever Green Bay is going to want to do. I think you're right. I think Adams is going to have a monster game with double digit catches and 130 yards and a couple touchdowns because I think he'll run all over that zone.
I have a sneaky feeling I will be skipping a little bit of this game. We have some Saturday night plans for the Mrs. Morganino's birthday, so I will not be watching much of the 49ers dealing with the sub-zero temperatures and the Aaron Rodgers love fest that will be going on for that game. I will be skipping that. Let's move to the Sunday afternoon game. Mr. Williams, your thoughts on the first Sunday afternoon game?
Yeah, this is another tough one here. Rams at Tampa. Man, this all comes down to if Tristan Wirfs is healthy. He's one of the best, maybe the best right tackle in the league for Tampa, and he has a high ankle sprain. Usually those are 3 or 4 week injuries. If he can't go, they're going to rotate a lot of different guys, mix and match. Probably have Gronk try and chip against this really good Rams D line. This is a really tough matchup for Tampa Bay, man. And they're all banged up. This would be a perfect game for Godwin here if he was healthy, but he's not there. You still got injuries in the backfield to Fournette and Ronald Jones. Yes, Brady has 35 postseason wins and Stafford only has 1. That may be the difference. But, man, Tampa did not want to see the Rams here in the second round. They would have much rather seen Arizona. Yeah, we'll see. Brady 17-17 against the spread as a favorite since '03, so it's not that great. He is 53, 31-4 as a dog or a favorite of 3 or less. This line is 3, in some spots 2.5. So Brady 10-5 in the postseason, 13-5 against the spread at home in Tampa, 2-0 in the playoffs. But McVay is 10-4 against the spread as a road dog. He's 10-5 against the spread in East Coast games, covering by more than a touchdown. So, I mean, nobody blitzes more than Todd Bowles and that Tampa D. That's surprising because he even blitzes more than Wink Martindale from the Ravens. But the problem is with that is Stafford has been fantastic versus the blitz this year. 7% big throw rate, less than a 2% interception rate, 81% adjusted accuracy, 9.4 yards per attempt. He's been killing it. And Higbee should have a good matchup against Devin White in coverage. White is a liability there. So very interesting ref stat here also. Sean Hockley is reffing the Rams-Bucks game. In his games this year, the road team is 11-5 against the spread, and the dogs are 12-4 against the spread. Since 2019, dogs are 29-15 against the spread when he is reffing the game. That seems unusual. It would be that large of a sample size for one ref to be favoring the underdog so much. So those two stats right there favor the Rams here. So this is a tough one to call.
All right, when you get to referee stats, that's when I have to jump in. I give you credit because that is a dynamite stat, and that's something people should think about. But when you get to referee stats, that's when I have to jump in. All right, you said 2 numbers in there that are a difference of 34, and for me, that's all there is to it. All right. Matt Stafford may have a nice new sheen on him because he's ended up in the Rams and he was lighting stuff up early in the year, and we all love Sean McVay and all the things that Sean McVay can do with Stafford, and if only Stafford had a team, all the above, fine. It's still Matt Stafford. We've seen a little bit out of him towards the end of the year, the old Matt Stafford that we all knew and loved, and games that we were forced to watch Detroit play on Thanksgiving. But there's no circumstances where I'm taking Matt Stafford over Tom Brady in a playoff game. Give me the Bucks. Mr. King.
I think it's going to be a shootout. I don't know who wins. I think it's too close to call. It's probably going to come down to who scores the last touchdown. But I would say take the over. I think it's at 48 right now. I see that being blown out. I think you see 60 points total.
Speaking of 60 points total and bang the over, if I was going to make one play this weekend, I would bang the over on the final game, possibly the best game. But Mr. Williams, it sounds like maybe you're going to fade that, huh? Kansas City Buffalo, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is my outright upset pick of the week. I'm taking the Bills over KC. This should be, I agree with you, this should be a shootout, specifically in the second half. These two teams, because because I mean, think about this: if the Bills get down, they're just going to chuck it. If the Chiefs get down, they're just going to chuck it. I mean, these two teams do not care, man. KC struggles to defend the tight end position. Brian Daboll is back to being very aggressive. Really, the only time the Bills are going to hand it off to a running back is either on second and short or third and short. Other than that, man, they are slinging it. They've got Isaiah McKenzie now involved in the passing game and on reverse and gadget plays. He's more explosive than Cole Beasley. I mean, how do you defend this team here now with Josh Allen, Steph Diggs, Gabe Davis? You got Dawson Knox at tight end. You got Devin Singletary playing well. This team is rolling right now. And on the other side of the ball, they're first in defensive DVOA. Kansas City 24th. So that's a big difference there. I just think the Bills are rolling right now, and I'm going to take them to get the outright upset win in Kansas City.
The Chiefs defense was much maligned for definitely certain times of this year, but I thought they came alive towards the end of the year. I thought we've seen Kansas City be the Kansas City that we've known and loved for numerous playoff games over the last couple of years. And I mean, Mr. King, I might be leaning a little too much on tradition here at times. It's gone against me, but I mean, Kansas City's been in the Super Bowl 2 straight years. I know there's not a great history of teams, going back to back to back, but man, I mean, why would I count out Kansas City here? They've done nothing but just win playoff games recently, especially at Arrowhead.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, the last teams that really do that are the Bills themselves and the Broncos. But this game's going to be tough. I'm going to say right now, I want the Bills to win. I'd like to see a new team from the AFC get into the Super Bowl. I don't know if Kansas City.
Well, we both want to see a new team from the AFC get into the Super Bowl, and they reside in Cincinnati, my friend.
But I think this really comes down to third down conversions. Kansas City, by far the best in the league. That offense converts their third down conversions over 52% of the time. The crazy thing is the Bills' defense is by far the best in the NFL, only allowing 30% of third down conversions converted. I think that right there is the game. If the Bills can stop them on third down and keep them from scoring or settling for field goals, that wins them the game.
All right, there you go. So you believe we will have an NFC champion or an AFC championship game, Chris, of the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Buffalo Bills. Is that what I'm feeling from you?
Oh, I would love it. It'd be like we're in the 80s all over again.
See, again, you're skirting here. Is that what you're predicting for our faithful Balls and Brew listeners?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm predicting.
Oh, that's my boy. I am predicting the Kansas City Chiefs will derail this Baltimore train. We will stop seeing tables being broken in parking lots, and we will see more and more pictures of Andy Reid over the years patrolling the sidelines, winning playoff games. That's what I believe will happen on the AFC side. The NFC side, Mr. Williams, I'm forcing you now to tell the people what you believe the NFC championship game will be next week.
I feel very confident that the AFC championship game is going to be Buffalo versus Tennessee.
Okay, good. So you're completely against me, and that's fine. You just always find a way to rain on my parade, and I appreciate that from you, Mr. Williams. You keep me grounded.
Yeah. Chiefs outscored 99-54 versus the other 3 AFC teams remaining in the playoffs. So, yeah.
Listen, we're coming up on the Winter Olympics here soon, Mr. Williams, all right? And we're going to start seeing Do You Believe in Miracles, a 1980 hockey team replays, all right? Nobody believed in that team either, all right? So you go ahead and just keep spouting that this Buffalo Bills team is the Big Bag Russians, and I'm going to spout somehow that the 1-year removed Super Bowl champions and Super Bowl participant last year Kansas City Chiefs are the scrappy underdog.
4-man rush too. Bills are top 3 in the league. 4-man rush. They're going to get to Mahomes.
Even though I'm actually for Cincinnati. That's really what I want to come across from this episode. That this is a pro Cincinnati Bengals podcast, no matter what you say, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, and on the
Who day?
on the other side, man, if San Fran can just limit the stupid penalties and no turnovers for Jimmy G, they have a real good shot to win this game. Green Bay's getting some pieces back on defense, but how many snaps are they going to play? I don't know. Zadarius Smith and Jair Alexander. That's a really tough game, man. That's a really tough game. Tampa, I think Tampa somehow squeaks out against the Rams, but that could go either way.
Look at you. I mean, listen, nobody's going to be like sending you hate mail or anything, Mr. Williams. You can
You
give
know,
the people what your thoughts are.
You know who I want to pick in the NFC game on Saturday night, but
Well, of course, you'd love for the Niners to win. There's no doubt about it. But you also you were the prime Aaron Rodgers defender on this podcast as well.
I don't know about that, but no, I mean, just Rodgers is tough, man. Fourth quarter, I feel like he's going to get a stupid pass interference call if they're down. And,
okay, so you're saying Packers Bucks then? You're saying we're getting Rodgers Brady again?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Listen, I'm fine with that. Whatever it ends up being, all three of us will be back next week to talk all about it. Perhaps we will have Mr. Jam Riska with us. You know, who knows if he might want to jump in on a conference championship Sunday. But what I believe we will have for you next week will be a little two-part episode. We will get the lead dog, the conference championship game stuff out of the way. And then after that, we'll have a little bit of a break and we'll do a basketball mid-season check-in for all you hoop heads out there like me and Mr. King. Chris, I know you're looking forward to that. Even though we're, of course, looking forward to Conference Championship Sunday, you and I are both really looking forward to chopping up some NBA on the pod again.
3-and-D.
Shout out. Mr. Williams, thank you so much, and I know you're going to be looking forward to this week. We will talk to you next week. Mr. King, as always, the final word goes to you, but I must mention before we let you have the final word, this is Royal Rumble time as far as wrestling goes. All right. The next we know that will drop for you will be next week, and it will be our Royal Rumble preview. So look out for that in the feed very soon. Then we'll come back with Conference Championship Sunday. Thanks as always to my guys, Chris and Josh, for joining me. And thanks to you as always for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and tell a friend or two so we can get the word out about this great pod. Mr. King, send us home.
Goodbye, Internet.